Alright everyone, it is Dokkan time again, and today, for a very highly requested amount of comments, I will be doing the build for the login 10th anniversary Goku and the banner unit STR Hercule. Just so, as the Hercule is pretty much Goku. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So, we're going to just go over Goku first because he's the most simplest thing ever. And then we'll get to Hercule. Hercule has roll tips. Goku does not. And neither of these units will have defense. I will not have defense calculations for these guys. For two reasons. One, I do my own defense calculations. They are not 100% accurate because it is very complicated to actually math out all of these. I do get very close to the right numbers, but I like to double, triple check with other community members, and I usually default to Halvard or Luke Lizard for defense calculations as a stepping stone, basically. And unfortunately, Halvard has chosen not to. He did say he was going to 2 days ago now. So unfortunately, my assumption is he either forgot or just does not feel that Hercule is worth the time. Usually he does do the defense calculations for one or the other, or of free-to-play units and so forth. But you know, I'm not gonna egg on him. I just kind of lean on him for defense calculations. So unfortunately, there will not be. Under my testing, though, I will say that Goku, like turn 9. You know, like 7 super attacks, type advantage, 220% lead, all defense links active. He can take 1 million damage on 3 million super. You know, that you can take that as you will, but the point is that he is straight up just a free-to-play unit, and you should treat him as such, as a free-to-play unit to throw into teams for free-to-play content. This Goku is not meant to be used in actual challenging content whatsoever. And he is on a timer, by the way. But anyways, let's just get into him. 200% options, he doesn't really have much. He has 220 with the Goku Vegeta Exchange unit LR that just released. But otherwise, you're just throwing him on Master Roshi, the Earthbred Fighters team with Yamcha or something crazy like that. Or I guess apparently he's a movie hero? What the fun? Did they give him the movie hero link? No, he's the Kamehameha leader. That's right. I was tweaking. Don't worry about it. He raises attack and defense for 10 turns. So basically after 10 turns have elapsed, he will lose that stack. He does have attack and defense of 100%, and then he gets 10% damage reduction. And when he is 12 or more, he'll have an additional attack and defense 100%. And for 10 turns from his entry turn, he will also have attack and defense 100%, another damage reduction of 10%, and all allies will get attack and defense of 10%. Now, as you can tell, that's probably not a lot of stats whatsoever. 20% damage reduction is nice, but honestly, I don't get out of bed for 30% or anything lower than 30%. So this is just free-to-play content. That's all it is. It is what it is. He does have Saiyan lineage all in the family and prepare for battle, so those are some pretty big actual like defensive links for a Goku family member. I would say the most viable free-to-play friendly unit you can throw on with him would probably be this Goten. That would probably be your best bet, the Goten slash Kid Icarus. That's probably where you're going to want to roll with. So that's all I'm going to really give for Goku. You can check out his hidden potential on the right side of the screen. I suggest primarily additional. Take him only into free-to-play content. Just put the rest into dodge. I will tell you, even for a free-to-play unit, his damage is pretty bad. It's pretty low. It's pretty much not doing anything. You're just taking him for type advantage, for the funsies, and for your free-to-play content. So, with that all being said, we'll move on to Hercule. So with Hercule here, he's actually pretty decent. He's kind of finicky. He's Hercule, you know. Hercule units typically have some kind of gimmick or something, and this Hercule is no different. But I will say he's very impressive. As far as 200% leaders go, he's basically just going to be Majin Buu Go Tanks 200% lead, and then I would suggest the new Goku Vegeta Exchange Units leader skill as well. Otherwise, he doesn't really have too many high-level leader skills to be really under to take advantage of. He is a Earth Protecting Heroes leader himself for 130. He does greatly stack attack, and he does greatly raise defense. And he also has 50% chance to stun, so good utility. Attack and defense at 250%. Earth Protecting category allies key +2 and attack and defense +50%. And for every attack received or evaded, defense +30%. And when there is another Earth Protecting Heroes category ally attacking in the same turn, chance of evading enemies attack +45%. And before receiving attack within the turn, damage reduction is 90%. And after receiving an attack, you get another additional evasion chance of 40%. And after evading an attack, superclass allies key +2 for 2 turns. So that all probably sounds a little bit convoluted and crazy restrictions, but look at it this way. Before he attacks, or before he receives an attack specifically, he has 90% damage reduction. He can tank a 3 mil super with that. Yes, 90% damage reduction very much goes a very long way. But the thing is, it has to be before receiving an attack. So that means he cannot be touched. If he doesn't dodge, then that first hit, he... as long as he dodges, he's fine. The first hit he takes, 90% damage reduction. If he doesn't dodge after that first hit, you're dead. That's just plain and simple. Unless it's on like an absurdly crazy type advantage scenario and moment, and like domain and a heck of freaking boosted, you absolutely need to make sure he dodges. Which is good because, you know, after he receives an attack, he has 85% dodge chance. So 90% damage reduction for the first hit, and then 85% dodge chance afterwards. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. But he also has his active skill, which raises his attack by 500%, and then he causes ultimate damage, and all of attacks become critical. You can only activate it, however, after the character receives 5 or more attacks in battle, or after the character evades 5 or more attacks in battle. And his links are just nothing to look at. There's nothing on those links. He's on a decent amount of categories, but I'm not sure there's too many teams you'll be actually able to take advantage of him on. And as far as the link partner goes, I mean, the only viable character in general, in my opinion, is probably going to be this Goku, this Videl, maybe even this Videl right here. But I mean, other than that, I mean, there's not really... He's linking with power bestowed by God because of the Goku active. They actually gave him power bestowed by God for the Patara. So he's actually linking up with a couple Gohans and Vechitos. It's very interesting. It's mostly just for Fierce Battle and then Power Bestowed by God, which is like 10% attack increase. But yeah, he doesn't really have too many like link partners per se. He's just there to sit in slot 1, potentially just straight up dodge tank the entire time. You'll have lots of runs where you probably won't even get to use his active skill because he'll just dodge the entire time. And he'll tank those first normals he takes in. I will say it's still possible for you to die. All it takes is for RNGesus to say, yeah, you had a 15% chance to not dodge. You didn't dodge. Those are just going to be those instances right there where that's going to happen. So I can tell you that even if you do magically get off his active skill for the 500%, you're going to need to stack it quite a bit. I can definitely see some burst mode runs where people could use this guy, try to stack up as much as entirely possible, and then just kind of use it as a final finisher, you know? I could definitely see that happening. But other than that, I mean, even with the 500%, he doesn't have a huge damage amount. Like, he really has low damage numbers. So just because he gets a 500% boost and ultimate damage, it doesn't mean it's going to go anywhere. So He's a nice, fun, gimmicky unit. I think he's honestly a dodge tank. Like, really, he's just a straight-up dodge tank in slot 1, and I think he can be pretty fun to utilize in that degree. But yeah, I mean, just throw him into slot 1, pray to RNGesus, and that's the best way to use him, really, it is. You can arguably say you can float him. There's just no purpose to throwing him into floating. I mean, really, if you're not trying to use him as a dodge tank, then there's not really much reason to use him. But yeah, technically, he can go in whatever slot position you want. Just give him full dodge and put the rest into additional. I would say you could argue, if you really wanted to, you could try to give him more additional and just kind of work off of the passive for dodge chance. But it really is just kind of game over if you don't dodge. So for your own sanity, do try to just go ahead and give him full dodge and use him as a full dodge tank and use him in whatever way you see fit. So I'm sorry that this is not like a crazy video by any means. I do apologize. It's just lack of defense calculations. And that these units are just kind of there. You know, the free-to-play Goku is just there as a login bonus. And this Hercule is honestly, he's a good banner unit. He is. It probably feels like I gave him a little bit of crap. But honestly, I kind of like him. I kind of like this Hercule. I really do. I'm very interested into seeing what kind of crazy stunts people can pull off with this guy in the future. So anyways, I hope that helped out the guys that were hoping for a Hercule and Goku video how to build. Just at the very end here, I will just kind of go slowly over it just for you guys. So basically for Hercule on 55%, just give him dodge. And then once you actually get some dupes for him, I would suggest literally just going full dodge, give him level 15 dodge, put the rest into additional. Even if you did want to try and boost up on that gimmick, I don't think it's worth the chance of just ruining the whole run because he didn't dodge twice. So I really do feel like you just need to give him full dodge on that point. As far as like equipment orbs, please don't waste any good EX equip orbs, but remember to always use EX equip orbs so you're not wasting them if you do. Remember, EX skill orbs you can replace at any given point in time. So, and then as far as his role tips go, the teams I would suggest is the new tech Goku and Vegeta exchange unit, and then 200% Majin Buu Saga Go tanks, as those are the most reliable teams to run him on. As far as a partner goes, unfortunately, it's literally just Videl as his quote-unquote best one, and then Vegito realistically. I didn't throw the Kid Goten and Kid Icarus free-to-play unit on here because I try to think of the most viable units you can use in majority of content, and that's just the Kid Goten and Icarus just are not viable for anything other than free-to-play content. And then best slot position is slot 1 for Hercule straight up. And I'm sorry, I'm super tired. When I said the Kid Goten and Icarus, I meant that for the Goku unit. I am very tired. I am super tired. I apologize. I really wanted to get this video out. Please bear with me. Thank you for watching these videos, even when I am obviously off my crazy rocker. Once again, in for Goku here, just give him full additional and put the rest in dodge. He's not doing any damage, even as a free-to-play unit. Even as a free-to-play unit, he's not doing any damage. Just give him additional and hope that he additionals for enough defense to survive whatever free-to-play content level you're putting him into. So, anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. I've already made it go on way longer than I thought I could. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a good day and a good night.